That's Spartacus. It looks like Spartacus anyway. I am Spartacus. I am Spartacus.
Okay, Jesse, we're rolling.
I want to watch a movie now.
No, don't watch the movie. The movie, when you run out of stuff to talk about, then watch the movie, okay?
I am Spartacus.
Hi, my name's Pete Nelson.
I'm Jesse Katz.
Welcome to the OoOoH on the Humboldt Barnacle, a local communications studio from atop the glorious Crisp Lounge in Eureka, California. Produced, created, and hosted by Pete Nelson and Jesse Katz. Follow us on Instagram at the Humboldt Barnacle, Facebook as the Humboldt Barnacle, or in the future at HumboldtBarnacle.com. The Humboldt Barnacle needs you. Are you interested in having a show on the Humboldt Barnacle? Well, you won't believe what we have in store for you. The Humboldt Barnacle has many openings throughout the week that offer a creative environment for you to create your own show just like this one. Want to create your own sketches? We actively workshop sketches throughout the week. An affiliate of Humboldt Comedy, the Humboldt Barnacle exists to create access to artistic expression where otherwise unavailable. Please consider supporting us by following us or coming to our many live shows at Humboldt Comedy or on Patreon at Pete Nelson and Humboldt Comedy. So this is our first episode since doing a little bit of a revamp on the studio. So I'm excited because I think that we finally got some of our shit together. And we're going to, what do you think?
No, I think we're doing great. I mean, we had to get some new equipment, and it's really worked out well equipment-wise, and the video is much better, and I think we're ready to take this to the next level.
Since our last episode, a lot of stuff has happened. Trump wasn't elected yet. It was more towards the Halloween times. I think our last episode was maybe November 11th-ish. And I'm really excited for this coming year. It's been the turn of the year. I've been pretty good about my dry January. I hope other people have really focused on their health for this coming year because I guess it sneaks up on you. I'd say I messed up my foot earlier this year by slipping and just stepping really hard on it, and I caught myself. It was crazy, actually, Jesse. I posted my arm and I couldn't put weight on my, so every time I had to push myself up on something, it didn't really work too well, and it made it an issue.
Well, I was really thought I was good until I turned 46, and that's when the heart attack started, and it's been up and downhill ever since.
How many heart attacks have you had?
Well, I'd say I'll get to that in a second. I mean, be good to yourself, in your younger years, because it will come back to help you later on. I have had, and my cardiologist does not like the term heart attack. He likes cardiac event.
Okay.
Because I guess, we're doing the kindler and gentler and politically correct stuff now. But I have had, 6 cardiac events.
Cardiac event. When's your next cardiac event planned? What does the flyer look like? Do you have a flyer for it?
We don't plan ahead for that.
Cardiac event services.
Just happens when it happens.
Yeah.
But I'm on a bunch of meds to hopefully make that not happen.
What are different symptoms people might have that make it obvious for you when you think that you're having a cardiac event?
Shortness of breath, chest pain, and then my arms will feel like first they feel like they got numb, then they feel like somebody's sticking a bunch of little pins in them. And that's pretty much tells me it's way past time to jump in an ambulance and get to the emergency room.
Do you think that song, Comfortably Numb, kind of describes a heart attack?
the numb part. There's not a whole lot comfortable about
Uncomfortably numb.
it. Yeah, maybe uncomfortably
Now that
numb.
they're all older, they're writing songs about all their symptoms of old age, like, like uncomfortably numb. They're like, yeah, it fucking sucks,
But I think Comfortably Numb was more of a mental challenge song than a physical illness song.
If they wrote a song about me, it would be called Uncomfortably Hung.
Yeah. Like the ACL surgery.
Yeah. We got you to do stand-up that one time.
Yep. That you should videotape it because that'll probably
We did
be the
videotape it. I
last
sent you a
time
link
you
for
see
it.
me doing it.
Yeah, we'll never get you to do it again.
Well, it's the way I do stories, and I don't do short stories, so it's hard to fit into like a 5-minute format.
Yeah.
It's just the way you chose to do your comedy, it doesn't fit. And I'm not saying that what you do is wrong. I'm just saying they're just not compatible.
Oh, your type of comedy that you
Yeah,
do?
you gear your more to, one-liners and instant jokes, and mine is more like you get to the funny part at the end of the story, but you have to sit through the story to be able to appreciate the funny part.
That's okay to do. Guys, if you see Jesse out in the community, tell him you would come to his show if he did his long-form stand-up. And any of you guys that can all get together, let's have Jesse do a show in that way. I think that'd be fun. You look like you'd perform at a biker rally.
Fun for who?
And fun for me to watch you, scramble.
But you also like to see me getting tortured. So,
yeah, it's funny,
yeah.
I think.
Well, yeah, it probably is for you.
Jesse, you have a new restaurant underneath your place, huh?
I do.
Don't use their name, but talk about them funny.
So apparently they're not doing a whole lot of good business because they seem to want to have these twice a month parties, and we've had a little conflict with that because I'm literally directly above where these parties are, and when they jam up the sound, like they're driving a young man's
You're
Japanese
saying-
car.
What you're trying to say is that you're a total party pooper and you have no fun.
Worse than that, I've always had a rule in life where, you just don't call the cops about anything. You either deal with it yourself or you put up with it. And I broke my rule.
I mean, that rule works until people, use that rule against you, and it's like, fuck you, I'll call the cops.
Well, it worked a little too good. Apparently,
If someone's, walking all over you because literally you follow that rule and, oh, I just can't. I know they do it, but I could just never call it. I mean, they're the kind of people who'd call the cops on you, for one, because they're trying to mess with you, but it's like,
well, it kind of backfired on them. Because, I tried to deal with them face to face, and they made it plenty obvious that it was just go bite rocks. So
That's kind of rough.
I kind of called the cops on them one night, and then the next time they did it, I called them twice. And apparently, according to the property manager at the time where I lived, who was trying to mediate this whole thing, that the cops told them that if they had to come back one more time, they would take their liquor license and put them out of business. So they got really freaked out over that. And the landlord was in a bad place because they're a lot of money for him, more money than I give him for my rent.
Yeah.
So I guess we kind of got to the point where they wanted to do it every week, and then we got to the point where you could do it twice a week if you keep the volume down. And then, my end of it was just not calling the cops on them anymore and putting them out of business and costing my landlord a bunch of money every month.
If you were elected president tomorrow, what laws would you enact?
Oh, boy. I would make weed mandatory.
Mandatory?
Yes.
Okay, keep going.
What else would I do?
Well, no, I mean,
I
how are you
wouldn't-
going to make it mandatory? You're just going to be like, yeah, I mean, you have to rub it on your face?
Oh,
and
no,
that
we'll throw you
counts,
in
or,
prison
have
if
to
you
smoke-
don't,
If you don't
I'm not
smoke
going to say
weed.
you have to smoke it, because smoking anything isn't good for you.
Yeah.
But there's, ways to drink it. There's topicals. There's
You have to boof it at least once, It's only once, but you have to once,
Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's important now to point out the fact that Pete's into boofing things.
You don't want to wait that late in your life to do the boofing part of it because it's the law, but also, like if you wait too long, it's actually harder to boof than when you're young and stretchy.
Pete, I think you should explain to those that don't know what boofing is.
Boofing is this thing that Jesse likes to do in the privacy of his home where he takes any sort of substances that he would be otherwise inhaling or ingesting and then just puts it up the other end instead. Why did you start doing that?
It was fun. It was fun.
Okay, let's see if we can rein this in a little bit. We did have some. We were going to talk about movies today, just to get a good start on stuff. Unless is there something better than movies you want to talk about? I do feel a little bit more flexible.
I think at some point we should have people call in topics they want to hear.
We do have it hooked up where people can call in. We just can't stream. We're working on getting internet for here still, and then we'll be able to.
Or, if they don't want to speak on the air, they could always text us an idea.
Yeah, but no one can see us live. I'll try and make it live.
Yeah,
we'll just stream it from the Humboldt Barnacle Instagram live.
That would be a problem.
And then we'll have this episode come out following that, right after that. So we'll have the talk we'll release on Instagram Live, and we'll have a little tripod over here. And that will transmit our episode live, but then we release this later where we have Ben-Hur playing or something like that.
Sorry, folks. Until then, you're going to have to put up with our topics.
Dude, the cool thing about it playing in the background is that I turned off the sound, and then the computer's so slow that it's glitching it out. So even if there's a sort of thing that catches what...
Did you not tell me not to look at
is
that?
licensed or not. Well, All right, what do you think about... what's your favorite movie of all time, Jesse?
Oh, my God. That's... it's almost an impossible question to answer. There's so many of them, but if I have to pick one for pure content, writing, oh my God, and production, it would, I mean, it's something that people would know. I mean, it would be Saving Private Ryan. Well written, well cast, well filmed, stayed pretty much, period. I mean, just, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? That's another really good one.
Okay. Well, let's stick to one and tell me more about why you liked it. So, Saving Private Ryan.
Like I said, it was just so
Which
well
character
done.
do you wish you were?
I mean, Princess Bride's another one.
Princess Bride. Okay,
Which
which character?
Character in which movie?
Saving Private Ryan.
Saving Private Ryan.
Ryan.
I would probably be Sergeant Horvath.
Saving Secondhand Lions.
Another really excellent. As a matter of fact, I'm embarrassed I didn't think of that.
Secondhand Lions.
Well, I would be Robert Duvall.
Robert
character,
Duvall.
one of the brothers.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The
You
one
just
that could kick butt.
You just want to be Robert Duvall from...
I just want to be Robert Duvall, period.
Yeah.
Forget the acting.
Isn't that a little invasive? That's what the movie Being John Malkovich is about, is just wanting to be someone so bad that you actually become them instead of you. And it's can you imagine? I always love the idea of remote control of another person, right? Where you have what is there a movie that happens in? I'll stay on subject. Is there a movie
Being John Malkovich?
Being John Malkovich, where you're just you hop in someone's body and make them do. That's the funniest part about that movie, is that it's all against his will. It's a movie about agency. And it's, what do you think? I think that's sort of unintentionally even a grand metaphor for modern society, is where they have...
I think that...
it's why do we want to be able to control other people so bad that we have
Again,
a whole movie about it?
That'd be great for the guy doing the controlling, not so good for the guy being controlled. But I think that we're all controlled to one extent or another, the way Western society is situated.
I would make people do stuff that they otherwise wouldn't do.
So what would you make John Malkovich do?
Can you imagine just making him run marathon after marathon after marathon after marathon?
You'd make him boof something.
I mean, I could see being into marathons, and marathons is like, I mean, that's one way to like get a great workout in and feel the way that a marathon makes you feel inside and outside. But also, if you're really not trying to run marathons, but then you're like made to run marathons, I'd be pissed,
I'd be dead.
Yeah. Why are you making me run,
No, yeah, that's one of those 6 of one, half dozen of another. If you're the one doing the controlling, it's probably hella fun. But if you're the one being controlled, it's gotta suck.
Well, they have that one. They had that one post going around on social media with that lady comes running up. She's like, "Please don't take pictures of me. I poop myself," and everyone's turning their cameras away, and that's kind of funny, right?
Are you kidding? Nobody actually filmed it?
Yeah, because there's decent people in the world. I know, it is surprising.
No, you can't get me to
People
believe
didn't
that.
film it. I tell you what was filmed was her underwear, though.
So they'll film the underwear, but they won't film the crappy pants.
No, moving on. We have So, is there another movie like Being John Malkovich where there's some crazy dynamic going on? Like Benjamin Button's a fun one for me.
Inception?
Dude, I'm like a reverse Benjamin Button.
In other words, you're doing it the normal way.
Yeah, I'm doing it the normal way.
I wouldn't mind doing the Benjamin Button. I mean, you'd kind of have a pretty lonely childhood, but once you got through that, it'd
like
be
a
interesting.
Brilliant teenager, just you've learned everything that there is to learn in life, and you're in your prime.
Well, I always said that we do this backwards. It's like when we have the body, we're dumber than dirt, and by the time we get smart enough, the body goes.
I would become a boxer if I was Benjamin Button.
If you did the Benjamin Button, you could do it, just when you're coming in your 40s and 50s, you'd be like a teenager in body, but the mind, you'd have it all together in your brain as an adult.
So what we're asking for is a movie crossover, Being Benjamin Malkovich, where John Malkovich goes backwards in time, and then he ages in reverse, and then we all jump in him to feel what aging in reverse is like. Funny thing that's a more practical way to have that movie be more of a realistic fiction is just offering a temporary experience of it for a small fee that you're left wanting more after that, right?
No, that's what they did. They started charging people to go be John Malkovich for a bit. See, you only get to control them for a limited period of time, and then you end up in the New Jersey Turnpike on the side of the road.
What about if you can make someone else be John Malkovich against their will? Like, you go and just, like, instead of, like, having to crawl down that weird, gross hole in the movie, which they really did that part well. It's so gross, though. But
you really have a control problem.
So anyways, what if it was like a hat or sunglasses? You're like, hey, here, put on these glasses, and then bam, now you're John Malkovich. I do have a control problem. Then now you're John Malkovich, and then instead you... and then you make them John Malkovich. So if you need someone to be out of your hair, let's say you have a competition coming up and you have your main competitors going to be at the competition.
So you just make them Malkovich?
You make them John Malkovich, and then they're out of your way for 15 Benjamin Malkovich minutes that go in reverse. Good luck figuring that out. I can't even.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I won't risk my IQ on that one.
Okay, so do you think Benjamin Button, if he was in like Back to the Future, would that like reverse his condition?
No, that's an interesting question. Benjamin Button and time? I don't think so. I don't think time travel. I think, at least as I've understood it was postulated and the way it is in the movies, it doesn't affect your physical self.
Doc and Marty show up in the DeLorean and go, Benjamin Button, get in. They like throw him in the back, go back in time, throw him into a Tyrannosaurus Rex's mouth that eats him, and it's like, we figured it out.
Well, no, you
There we
can't.
go.
You can't do that. See, Isaac Asimov, I believe it was, wrote a book about that, where in the future they have time travel vacations, but they tell you they have like these footsteps. You have to stay in the footsteps,
Yeah.
otherwise you risk changing the future. And this guy just steps up once and steps on a butterfly, and the chain of events of that butterfly dying, when they get back to their present, everything's different. Language is different, buildings are different, everything's different. Just because that butterfly didn't feed that iguana, that didn't feed that dinosaur, that didn't feed that Cro-Magnon man, and so on and so forth. So you got to be careful of stuff like that. You don't want to do something, even in Back to the Future, oh God, not Marty McFly, but the other guy, the professor, the doctor.
Doc Brown.
Doc Brown was cognizant of the fact that they have to be very careful about what they do. Like when that gambling book,
I just imagine Marty drilling his mom.
Yeah, well, that's a whole nother
He's
story.
just like, I'm going for it. I don't ever get this, so I'm just going for it. Marty, what are you doing? His whole family. They have like a half existent, half non-existent child,
Well, if he did,
It's like phasing in and out of reality. It's like, because she was real, so it's like half there.
but if he did sleep with her and she got pregnant, would he exist?
No, there would be some crazy fractal person that's half existent, half non, traipsing around in the 50s, fracturing reality.
Yeah, that's not good for anybody.
I'd probably name him Oedipus, if anything. This is my kid Oedipus that's made me cease to exist, but also tear a hole in time. So you could say I'm already pretty proud of him, even though I don't exist anymore.
I'm just super happy you don't have any kids. And I think that
You think you're happy?
if you ever had a kid, that would be like a sign of the apocalypse.
Hey. No one's proved that I'm the devil yet,
Yeah,
I'm
some of
still
us just know.
successfully hiding that from people.
I didn't say anything. I
You
just said
said
your
a lot.
child would be the sign of the apocalypse.
We're discussing what you said right now, actually.
Hey, if you want to get into the truth of it, if you're the devil, I'm your head demon.
The head demon, the demon that gives me head all the time.
No.
You heard it here first. Jesse is a head demon. He
Welcome to my life, folks. This is what I got to put up with on an almost daily basis.
What if Benjamin Button?
Oh, here we go with the what ifs.
What if Benjamin Button, Larry David,
Oh my God.
yeah, what if Benjamin Button and Larry David had an odd couple roommate situation? That'd be fun, huh?
I think
Hey, what are
Benjamin
you
Button
doing?
would end up killing Larry David.
Yeah.
I don't think Larry David's like even the non-Seinfeld Larry David is set up for living with others. And I say that as one of those people. I don't have roommates. I don't do good with roommates. I don't like other people. I'm greedy. I like to make my own rules. I like to, if I want to throw that piece of paper on the floor, I want to be able to do it. If I want to wait 3 days before doing my dishes, I want to be able to do that. If I want to scratch my nuts, I want to feel like I can do that without judgment.
We do have a back scratcher over there, but don't do it in front of me, right?
Well, I don't have to do it right now, but you get the point.
All right. Other things that happened since the new year.
My life is pretty stationary at this point.
But the other stuff's happened. So
L.A. burned down.
L.A. has burnt down. Thank you, Jesse. Good job. A+. L.A. has burnt down, is burning down. I couldn't help but notice that there's a political conversation about whether it's the Democrats or Republicans that caused the L.A. fires, which is pretty interesting for, I guess, everything is political.
That is beyond ridiculous.
I don't know. I mean, do you think it's like that people have to bring it in? I think maybe
People need to justify their point of view on things, so they change reality to fit their perspective. So for some reason nowadays, if you're a Republican, you need to go after the Democrats. And if you're a Democrat, you need to go after the Republicans.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking was like, I think that it's something big that happened that was wrong. And then that made, could you grab me one of those? That made, that made the, even, it just was like, all right, something went wrong, time to pin it on people. And I feel like that was like just such a big necessary thing for political, accusation and
Agendas.
stuff. Agendas, yeah. It's like, what if they're just natural fires and it was unfortunate? But I think instead people are so quick to point fingers.
Well, there's one guy who's probably going to get stuck with one of those fires. Apparently, the neighbors in this, I don't know what the neighborhood was, but it was one of the neighborhoods that was being threatened by the fire, but they hadn't, like, caught fire yet.
And then they hit him with
They
a nice...
found a guy who had a butane tank and a torch.
And a direct energy weapon.
They kind of grabbed him and kind of beat him up a little bit and held him for the police.
Shook him around.
I'm pretty sure the police didn't come there just to arrest him. They came there to save his life because the neighbors were going to lynch him. But they're saying that they're investigating him for being responsible for one of the fires, one of the smaller ones.
If anything, he's being irresponsible for the fire, you know? No, that's not good. I really, if we do have the capacity to, with a reasonable amount of the money that I make from events this coming year, I pledge to give at least like 10% for certain events to LA at least, which is just a random number, probably more. I'll figure out a reasonable number, but to LA charities that are like vetted, and
well, I'll
probably gift directly to people I know that are in that area. Because that's always like the number one way to give charitably is to give directly to the person.
Well, I do know the Salvation Army has a specific fund set up to aid LA. So if you out there want to give some money to LA and be sure it's going to get to people who really need it, not the rich movie stars that probably have plenty of insurance,
I think
that would be the way I would go.
I'm going to look up how many, or I don't know. There's definitely people who've like passed away, right? Due to the...
oh, yeah, well, they're saying 6 people, and this is the last one.
I thought it
with
was
6
100.
and counting was the last I heard. But then again, that, could have gone way up. They haven't had they're still putting the fires out. They haven't had a chance to go over the neighborhoods that have already burnt.
I think it's so crazy that this has been happening here. Like, isn't that... There's so much tax money in those areas. How did that... Okay. AP News says that the death toll has risen to 24, which is a very, very, very low amount of...
so far.
Yeah. That sucks for those people. I hope they're not, like, unfortunate ones. Like where people who were trying to help other people got hurt. They're probably all unfortunate, honestly. Hey,
well, I haven't heard about any firefighters going down, but
follow us on our stuff, and on our next episode, you can figure out how you can help us support directly this LA fire thing that's going on. And we'll come up with a more structured plan for probably like having an event where 100% of the proceeds go to the LA fires. We do have other events coming up. There's going to be, what's the day of the month? Is the 13th today, Monday. Every Wednesday at the Crisp Lounge. Thank you for having us, Crisp Lounge. At 6 to 7, there's open mic comedy every Sunday and Wednesday, and then 7 to 10. 7 to 10 there is karaoke at the Crisp Lounge at 2029 Broadway in Eureka. Thursday nights you can check us out at the Arcade of Vets Hall over in the basement of the Vets Hall. So you have to go downstairs. A lot of the time the front door is open. And then you can check out HumboldtComedy.com for other events that I have on there. I know the last Wednesday of the month, this January, February, March, are all going to be...
special events?
No, they're going to be at the Wave Lounge, 8 p.m., We're going to have comedy the last Wednesday of the month, January 29th, February 29th, and March.
You didn't tell me about these.
I did. You just forget about stuff.
Well, I tend to ignore you sometimes.
Thank you for doing that.
It's necessary for my mental health.
You're mental.
I am. It's true.
All right. Where is the rest of the notes for this stuff? Jesse, what do you think about... I think we had one more thing for the new year, right?
Well, we also have the second Tuesday of every month as a tattoo shop.
Second
Saturday, I'm sorry. At the Four Swords Tattoo in Arcata.
Second Saturdays of the month at Four Swords Tattoo at 1065 K Street.
Come in, get a tattoo
Arcata.
and comedy at the same time.
We got tattoo specials going on over there during the event.
And if you come,
show your tattoo from the last
next show, which is the second Tuesday of next month,
I'll check the day.
You can see me getting a tattoo.
Show off your other tattoo.
I got this one last week. It won't show. It's glitching.
What'd you do? That was weird.
It can't handle that much movement.
The Silver Surfer. Yeah, that'll be February 8th.
But I will be getting a Yosemite Sam tattoo in color next month, the second Tuesday, whatever day that is.
Hell yeah.
And you can come and watch me writhe in pain while people tell jokes.
Yeah, it's been pretty sweet. I'm pretty excited. Loving it, you know.
Yeah, I'm getting addicted to this tattoo thing, so.
Yeah, that's been a fun show to do.
It may not be their last chance to see me get stuck.
Yeah. Well, you know, Jesse, I know it might even be a little bit short, but I think I want to just call this episode good right here and then see how long this took and see about posting it before we do anything wrong.
Cool.
Thanks again for sticking around for this show. We'll have another episode come out. This is a Monday. This is supposed to be our Friday show. We'll just release this on Friday morning as we were planning to do.
Cool.
We'll see you guys next week for another installment of the OoOoH.
Ooh.
Here at the Humboldt Barnacle.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.